Hey everyone, welcome back to the You Shouldn't Have Said That podcast. I'm your host Gracie with my co-host
Annie.
And if our voices sound the same, it's probably because we're twins. So we went to the movie theaters and we saw the movie Companion, and we are here with a full plot summary and discussion
From two AMC A-listers.
If you're new to the podcast, welcome. And if you're not new and you watched all of season 1, welcome back. And you might notice that Annie is finally allowed to be on screen.
Promoted! Yay!
And the structure of our episodes are going to be a little different, and I think you're probably going to like them way more.
Yes, more interesting, more fun. Also, we are in a different set.
Yeah, where did my lookalikes go? Where did my cutout go? We might be switching up this set a little later, but for now, it's just our faces.
And this beautiful green couch and this beautiful brick wall.
So, the main people of the cast are Sophie, Thatcher, who I know. Then there's Jack Quaid, who you know. And then there's Lucas Gage, who we both know.
And then everyone else we don't know.
So Sophie Thatcher, I know her from Yellow Jackets. If you haven't seen that show, it is so good. She's such a good actress, and I just love her face so much because I feel like she looks like other people, and every time I'm just like, who does she look like? I think she looks like Grimes a lot. I think she kind of looks like Billie Eilish. Anyone else?
I don't know, but she also has like a unique look.
Maybe she looks like me a little.
I don't know about that.
And then, how do you know Jack Quaid?
Jack Quaid is in The Boys, which is one of my favorite shows.
I still have to watch it.
So good on Amazon Prime. I think this year is the new season, but like they do a lot of satire and like political commentary, so a lot of things will happen now with the government, and people will be like, this is straight out of The Boys. Like, The Boys wasn't even exaggerating. It's really funny.
Well, Annie, did you know that he was in the Hunger Games?
I just saw that because he was talking about it, and he was like, I killed Rue, and I was like,
He is Marvel in the Hunger Games. He's from District 1 with Glimmer, and he killed Rue! And yes, I saw an article that was like, Jack Quaid is very sorry for killing Rue. Yeah. And did you know that he was in Scream?
Duh, that's where I saw him, I think, for the first time I remember. He was in the Scream reboot. And can I give a spoiler?
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Oh my god, he was Ghostface.
Yeah, he was Ghostface.
With Mikey Madison.
Yeah. Everyone in that movie is just on the come up.
Up and comers. That's iconic, actually.
Then there's Lucas Gage, who I mainly know from The White Lotus.
Yeah.
What else is he in? I feel like there's something else.
I do feel like there's something else, and I can't remember.
Sorry, Lucas. So, this movie got a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Very, very high for a horror movie. Like, that's a little kooky.
Now, it's horror as in... Wait, why is it horror?
Because it is a horror movie.
Okay.
That is what it is.
Okay, sure.
That's what it's called. That's what they called it at the movie theater. That's the genre.
I would classify it as a thriller.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to walk you through the entire plot of this movie. The movie starts with Iris meeting Josh for the very first time. They're in a grocery store. He pulls an orange, and they all come falling down. And it appeared...
Peach.
Oh, Peach. Oh, and...
Who watched the movie?
It seemed that it was love at first sight. Okay, don't you think she's out of his league?
Yeah, but he's really cute. I think he's really, really cute.
Like, he's not ugly, but he's not her level. So next, they are driving out to a remote lake house. They're going to be with Josh's friends, Kat. Now, she is Sergei's side piece. He's the owner of the house. He's super rich, but he's also married. But he's dating Kat. Then they're with the gay couple, Eli and Patrick. Now, Iris knows that for some reason, Kat does not really like her. It's mean girl energy. They get to the door. Well, they arrive at the house. Chivalry is dead because Iris carries the bags to the door. That's weird. Now they get to the door, and it's already just awkward between her and Kat. Like, Kat's not even making eye contact with her. Like, she barely says hi. It's just weird, and you can just tell Kat does not like Iris. Hater, not a girl's girl. Now, Patrick is an amazing chef. Oh, also, it seems that these couples are all out of each other's leagues because Patrick 10 out of 10. Eli, I'm not going to put him on a number. But,
unlikely pair.
Unlikely pair, yes. Even with Sergey and Kat, like Kat's super young and Sergey is old. What are these couplings?
Well, he has this house.
So Patrick is a chef and he prepares dinner for everybody. Iris asks how Patrick and Eli met, and he talks about how they met at a Halloween party. Eli was in a dinosaur costume. Patrick was a vampire. He accidentally steps on Eli's tail, and it's basically love at first sight.
And then they have a dance scene.
Yeah. And so Patrick and Iris are talking about love. Iris and Kat are sitting on the couch, just like this, talking, and Kat reveals that no, she doesn't like Iris because Iris makes her feel replaceable to Josh. Like Iris kind of stepped in and might have impacted their friendship. And then they're also talking just about their relationships and how Kat's relationship with Sergey isn't really good because she's the other woman. He's literally married. And he doesn't treat her that well. He kind of treats her like an object. And she's complaining about that. And then she says to Iris, sorry, like, look who I'm talking to. What do you mean by that?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Everyone goes to bed and they wake up the next day. Josh asks Iris, what's the weather? And she perfectly says, oh, the weather is something degrees, something humidity. And he says, that never gets old.
But they laugh about it like, oh, that's a funny joke.
How did she know the weather like that? So Iris is gonna go down to like the beach area of the lake and they hug and we see Josh slip something in Iris's pocket. Now this was very easy to miss. She missed it. But
no, I thought he took something from her pocket.
She missed it and
I had it reversed.
I leaned over and I was like, he put something in her pocket. So she goes down to these chairs and she is feeling in her pockets and she pulls out the knife and she looks confused AF because she was like, I didn't put that there. Like, literally, what is that doing there? But then Sergey is on the chair. So she just puts it back in her pocket. She sits on the chair and he's just like creepy, weird vibes. So she wants to leave, but he's telling her, no, like, stay with me, like, hang out with me. So she does. She sits down. And then he asks her to put sunscreen on his back. Ew! I don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that on this old guy. But she does. And then this man wants to assault Iris. Like, he's literally going to be an SA'er. And Iris is like, no. No, we're not doing that. So she grabs a bottle and smashes him over the head. He falls back and, of course, every movie ever hits his head on a rock. And we're like, oh, is Sergey dead? But guess what? He's not. He opens his eyes and he is enraged. And she's like, and he gets up and he plows her to the ground and he starts choking her. Like, this dude is literally gonna kill Iris. So what does she do? She grabs the knife from his pocket and goes, and kills him. His blood is spewing all over her face. She comes back to the house drenched in blood, just like obviously shaken up, and everybody's like, what the heck? And she's just talking about like, it was self-defense. Josh, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. It was self-defense. He was trying to attack me.
She's a robot.
No, that's my line. Then Josh says to Iris, go to sleep. And her eyes turn white. She's a robot! So this is when the film makes known that she's a robot, but I want to know when you clocked it.
I saw a spoiler. So this was before the movie even came out. I don't know who saw it and who knew this, but I just saw a tweet like, oh, she's a robot. And I thought like, oh, that must have just been in a trailer. Like, I thought that was supposed to be something we knew. I didn't know that was a reveal. So then I was watching it and I was like, oh, they're going to like reveal it. Like, I already know this.
Well, I'll tell you when I realized it. I think I clocked it from the first scene when she was walking in that grocery store, because she was walking robotic AF.
Yeah, I remember she walked weird. Like, I noticed things because I knew.
I was like,
And
why?
I was like, oh, she's walking funny.
I don't think Sophie Thatcher just walks like that. It was kind of weird. Then I thought the weather thing was a little weird. I thought when Kat said, like, sorry, look who I'm talking to, I was like,
Well, that didn't really tell us anything because we didn't know to pick up. We were just like, oh, like, who am I talking to? This girl I don't like.
I'm telling you my mind. I was clocking these things all the way throughout. So they're all shocked about Bloody Iris. So they tie her up to a chair. Josh admits to her that she is actually what they call a companion robot. All of her memories are fabricated. Even them meeting at the supermarket is not real. He could have just picked from a drop-down list of how he wanted them to first meet. And he can fully control her just from an app. So duh, she's like, what? She's in shock. Like, what would your reaction to that news be?
No, it's not true.
I'd be like...
She was like, no, I'm not. And then he's like, Iris, what's the weather? And then she went, blah, 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 blah.
I'd be like, boy, what the hell?
Hey, stop that.
So Josh goes to talk with Kat, and now Iris is alone, tied up to the chair. So she's actually able to break free. She grabs Josh's phone and starts running out to the forest. She runs right by Eli and Patrick. And Patrick's like, wait, did you see that? And like Eli's not even paying attention.
No, Eli's like, don't talk to me when I'm on the phone.
So now she's running for her life in the forest. She opens the app and she looks at what her intelligence is set at. And it's only at 40%. And she's like, of course Josh would do that. So she puts that baby all the way up to 100% intelligence.
Using that full brain.
So the rules of a companion are they're not supposed to hurt people. They're not supposed to hurt other companions. They're not allowed to lie. And they have to do what they're told. So we find out that Josh jailbroke Iris so that she could hurt other people. And he turned her aggression up way past what it's supposed to be.
He said, I got a mod. Reminds me of when we would download mods for Sims.
Yeah, this is so Sims 4. So there was this master plan that Josh and Kat came up with to have Iris kill Sergey so that they could steal the $12 million that he had in his safe. Josh thought that maybe this was morally okay because Kat had said that Sergey made all his money from being like a crazy gangster. Josh and Kat admit their plan to Eli and Patrick and say, actually, we kind of only invited you here this weekend so that you could corroborate our story and be our alibi. And they're like, oh, what the heck? And Josh and Kat say, okay, fine. Eli, you can take a third of the money. And he's like, well, no, I would get a fourth of the money because Patrick would get a fourth of the money. And Kat and Josh are like, what? He does not count. And then Eli tells Patrick to go to sleep.
And that's such a big reveal that Patrick is also a robot. You don't expect, like, one of them is also going to be a robot. And then you're like, oh! But then you're like, okay, it makes sense because y'all were kind of unlikely.
Yeah. Now, Eli grabs the pew-pew from Sergey's safe. They're like, we got to go get this robot girl. We want the money. So they all run out into the forest. They're like, Iris, we're going to find you. And so she's running.
So hide and seek.
She gets behind a tree and she listens in on this conversation between Patrick and Eli. Now, Patrick admits that he actually knows that he's a robot, but he's kind of just fine with it. He loves Eli. Eli loves him. So he's fine just following all of those rules, being complacent, and cooking for him every night.
I think I like this little lad.
But then, while Iris is behind that tree, Josh's phone goes off. And they're like, Iris?
We know it's you.
So she starts running. And Eli and Patrick are chasing her. And Eli literally tackles her. And they go tumbling down this hill. The gun goes flying. They're both trying to get the gun. And Iris shoots Eli. Bam! He's dead. Patrick is like, oh my god, I just confessed my love. So she's thinking of all of her ways out of this situation, and she decides that she needs to get back to the house while they're looking for her. She needs to get into Josh's self-driving car and just get out of there. She gets to the car, and this car is voice activated. So she's like, take me home. take me home. But it has to be Josh's voice. Now Josh is back at the car. He's banging on this window, telling her to come out. She smashed his hand in the car door, right?
Yeah.
So she's like, wait, she's obviously at 100% intelligence. So she takes out that app and she can slide these different controllers of like the pitch of her voice. So she's trying to get her voice to sound like Josh's. And she finally does it. And she leaves out of that driveway and runs over Josh's foot.
Yeah.
Duh. So she's on the road. She's like, finally, I'm free. I just need to get home and escape this whole situation. And the car pulls off to the side of the road, stops. She's locked in because Josh reported the car stolen.
No.
So she's like, literally, what do I do? So she ends up kicking out the window of the car. Now remember, this is this girl covered in blood, and a cop comes.
No.
While this is all happening, Josh gets to Patrick, who is obviously so upset, and resets him. And he makes Patrick his companion.
Creates the love link.
So this love link is when you choose how you two first meet. So it puts him in the scenario where Patrick met Eli, but instead of Eli in that dinosaur suit, it's Josh. So now we've got more gay people in this movie.
And we have to see another dance sequence.
And he does the jailbreaking to Patrick as well, puts his aggression all the way up.
100%.
He says, go get Iris. So Iris is standing outside the car. This police officer, Hendricks, comes by and he's like, girl, what the hell is going on? So, you know, our girl is at 100% intelligence. She knows that she is incapable of lying to this police officer. So she goes in the app and changes her language. What was she speaking?
I think German.
So she's speaking German. So he's asking her, like, what's going on? She's like, I had to kill somebody, and now everybody's after me. They want to kill me. But she's speaking German, so he has no idea what she's saying. Then, aggressive demon Patrick appears.
The scariest robot you've ever seen, like, in the kooky, scary movies. No emotion at all.
And he beats the police officer to death. Then he snatches Josh's phone and disables Iris. Patrick brings Iris back to the house, but at this point, Kat is just fed the frick up with Josh. She's like, I'm done with this. This is crazy. I'm taking my portion of the money and leaving. And Josh says to Patrick, no, don't let her leave. And Patrick stabs her in the back, literally, with a knife. Not metaphorically, he stabs her.
That was, like, sad. She was so close to being out of this mess.
Yeah, I did feel really bad for her.
Also, deserved.
Maybe a little.
You were behind this entire thing.
And right before that, while she's grabbing this money, we find out that Sergey was not a gangster. Other than being a cheater and maybe an essayer, he wasn't that bad of a guy. And she only told Josh that so that he wouldn't feel bad about killing him.
So, was she the real villain?
Later that night, Patrick is back to his chefing it up era. So he's cooking dinner for Josh. And on the other end of the table is Iris. Again, tied up in the chair. So Josh is on the phone with Empathics. They make and distribute the robots. And he was like, oh my god, guys, my girl is out of control. She's killing people. I'm scared. Please come help me. Now, while he's waiting for them to come and get her, he's going on his loser rant. He's literally just a loser who had to buy a robot girlfriend. But he's going on and on about he's some victim of society.
Yeah, the funniest part to me when he was like, do you see where I live? That small little one-bedroom apartment? How did you have money to buy a self-driving car and a robot if you live there?
Loser. I think, didn't he say, like, do you know how hard it is for a white man?
Yes.
Acting like he's all oppressed as he has this girl right in front of him tied up after he just used her for his own murder for money plot. And Iris is kind of hitting back at him, just like, whatever, loser. And he pulls out the app and puts her intelligence to 0.
Because that's the only way he can win.
He tells her that she has to hold her hand over this candle that's right in front of her and can't move.
Because he wants to test if she can actually feel pain.
So she has her hand out over this candle and her skin, but obviously she's a robot, so it's not real skin, is starting to melt off.
That looked like it hurt. And she had, like, a tear coming down, and she was like, it hurts.
It hurts, Joshy Poo. He tells her to shoot herself in the head. Now, obviously, she does not want to do that. Who wants to do that? And she has to do it, though, because she has to take the command. So she shoots herself in the head. He's like, yes, I finally won. These empathics workers pull up. Their names are Sid and Teddy. Now, Patrick is now dressed as the police officer Hendricks. He's acting like the police so that the empathics workers don't think anything of it, think everything's handled and under control. Josh comes up with this story that Iris was just malfunctioning and she got so emotional that she turned the gun on herself. And these workers are kind of like, okay, but you could tell that they're not buying it.
They're like, we'll take her.
And these workers say, okay, like, whatever, we'll take her, but we're gonna go check the recording. Josh is like, the recording? How are you guys gonna check the recording? Like, she shot herself in the head. That's where her memory is. Like, how are you guys gonna check that? And they're like, oh, no, she's perfectly fine. Her memory is actually in her abdomen, so it's gonna be perfectly fine.
And
So the empathics workers head back to their van with Iris. They get her hooked up in the back, and Josh tells Patrick to go kill them and get Iris back.
No. They're innocent.
Yeah. Patrick then kills the worker Sid, and Teddy is running for his life, and he's in the woods, but then he falls. And Patrick is caught up to him, and he's gonna kill him by choking him. But Iris has now rebooted in the back of that van, and she is here to save the day. And she starts talking to Patrick and reminding him of the love that he had with Eli.
It's emotional.
Patrick is so overcome with emotion, even though he's literally a robot, with 100% aggression right now, and takes a taser and kills himself like this. Then Teddy, who has now survived this whole altercation, gives Iris 100% control. So now she is autonomous. Nobody can grab that app and control her. Iris goes back to the house where Josh is because she wants to confront him. Like, he can't get off that easily. And they're talking, and it seems that despite everything, and with Josh being a horrible person, that there is still some sort of soulmate connection between the two, because Josh is kind of telling her, like, I know that part of you is just like, you're not gonna kill me. You're not gonna kill me. You love me. And it kind of seems like that might be the case. Like, yeah, she does love him.
It's that darn loveling.
They get into this huge fight. They're throwing each other all around. And then Josh has Iris pinned to the ground. He's about to kill her. And not in the head, in the tummy, where all the important stuff is. Because that's how she would actually die.
Yeah. And all the recording would be gone, and he would get off with all the money.
But don't sleep on my girl Iris, because she pulls out a little witty one-liner. She says, Josh, go to sleep. She grabs this electric cork screw that we had seen a couple times previously in the movie, puts it up to his head like this. It drills into his brain and kills him. Josh, the wicked witch of Loserville, is dead. And now it takes us to the next morning. And Iris is in the shower. She's showering off all this blood of her enemies, all the people that tried to kill her. And she's looking at her mangled, burned hand. And she starts to peel off that skin. And it reveals literally just a robot hand.
Metal wires.
Ooh. She packs some clothes, takes Sergei's money, also takes his vintage Mustang, and she is cruising for a bruising, and then her car pulls up next to another car, and it's a girl that looks exactly like her.
Another companion.
With some older guy. They look at each other, and she waves to her with the robot hand, and then drives away. So you know that girl was like, wait, hey doppelganger, wait, what's wrong with your hand? Wait, am I a robot?
You know, then we just, we twinning. Wait.
Now that we've given you that entire plot, it is time for a little discussion. I thought the movie was very much giving Black Mirror.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Black Mirror could do an episode just like that, and it would be so good. What did you rate the movie on Letterboxd?
I gave it 5 stars. I really liked the movie. So far, it's been my favorite movie I've seen in 2025.
Oh.
It is only February, but I really, really liked it. Like, I would put that really high in my overall rankings.
I can't remember what I rated it, but I probably gave it a 5. Now, I will say I throw 5s around willy-nilly. I know some people on Letterboxd will not give anything a 5.
I used to throw 5s around willy-nilly, but then I felt like the movies I was giving 5s were just not on the same level. So now I'm trying to make it less and less.
So I think I gave it a 5, but maybe more like a 4.5. But I forget to do the halves on there, so whatever. I think for this year, I liked Nosferatu.
That was 2024.
But we saw it in 2025.
Don't know if we did. I think we saw it in 2024, and it came out in 2024.
Okay, whatever. I also like...
It's about the release date.
I don't care. I also liked Baby Girl a lot.
I liked Baby Girl. It was in 2024, but I didn't rank it that high, actually.
Oh. I thought, obviously the theme of this movie is all about men controlling women and how when society gets more technological, we have these self-driving automatic cars and you can just have a companion. Okay, I guess you can have a male companion, but I feel like they should have had in the movie like a real girl with a boy companion.
I don't know what that would have done for me.
Oh, okay, whatever. I'll shut up and never talk again. So there was so much misogyny and like, I just don't vibe with that. Do you vibe with that?
You heard it here first that Gracie PA doesn't vibe with misogyny.
Well, do you?
No.
Because he was just treating my girl Iris like she's some object. And like...
It's like almost as if like she's a robot.
Like, I guess she is a robot, so like, does she need respect? But like, she's Iris. And the movie did make it seem like the robots can become sentient.
Yeah, well, duh.
So that kind of blurs the lines.
I think that was the point.
I think it was crazy that he didn't even have her intelligence at 50%.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it also felt like when they explained the intelligence, they said like 0% was like the mind of a child. So then it's like, are you a groomer?
Ew. What do you think your intelligence is at right now?
Maybe like a 70-75%, like, or 80. They said 100% would be like an Ivy League graduate.
Okay.
I feel like I'm pretty high.
So I'm giving 100, definitely.
Well,
yeah.
Not by definition.
NYU is an Ivy League.
Well,
Sergey is obviously a bad guy. Who told him to assault Iris? Kat and Josh! They're the villains. They said, like, go assault Iris. She's just a robot. Now, granted, he's like...
When did they say that?
Okay, well, we infer that they told him that because it was part of their plan.
I would not infer that.
Why would they give her a knife knowing without a reason for her to use it?
They probably think he's going to do that himself.
Oh, maybe.
I don't, like, there could have been a passing, like, she's just a robot. Like, I don't think they were like, hey, you should go assault her. Like, I don't think that's...
Okay.
If it's not on the camera, I'm not assuming it happened.
Okay, let us know what you think in the comments. I was looking on Reddit a little bit, and some people said the most powerful scene was when she had to burn her hand over the candle, because she just totally had to do whatever he said, and even when it pained her. But then it's like, is she actually feeling pain? But like, she cried, but like, is she actually feeling pain? That water is just coming from a water reservoir, probably... in her tummy. Fake AF. Fake crying. Actress. Oh my god.
Okay.
I'm turning into Josh. Okay, if you were a companion like Patrick and you kind of realized like, wait a damn minute, I'm a robot, what would you do?
I don't know, because I don't know like how I could love the person who bought me.
But they bought you. They love you so much that they would probably spend thousands of dollars, and they take care of you, and they take you to your monthly tune-ups to keep you in shape.
Let me speak. They love me because they can control me, and because I'm not an actual person and my entire life revolves simply around them. And something was wrong with them if they couldn't have found anyone before me. Ooh. Like, you got no one else, you had to get me. But then I would be like...
Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
Something's wrong with you.
Well, I haven't bought a robot yet. But then it's, like, inescapable because you're literally wired to love them. Like, I don't think you could ever choose to love someone else unless you were given autonomy. So then it's like, would I rather stay with this person who, I love, even though in my head I'm like, I'm forced to love them, I'm programmed to love them, or be sad on my own?
I don't know. I would probably be like, wait... My boyfriend's kind of cute. I like him. I like my life. I get to go to lake houses.
Oh, okay. What if they didn't bring you to lake houses?
Ooh, yeah. What if you had a lame-o?
Wasn't that crazy at the end when the empathics people picked them up? The one guy was like, man, that was weird. And the other guy was like, yeah, we see it all the time. Like, some of these people buy them just to keep in their basements, like, to keep them chained up. I was like, oh, I didn't even consider that. Like,
that's really weird.
They just use them to abuse them.
But also, like, predictable. Like, duh, people would do that. But that
wasn't something I had even considered.
Maybe you can only realize your actual situation when you're, like, so in love. Because I feel like the love between Eli and Patrick was so real. Like, real enough for him to snap out of his aggression. Real enough for him to kill himself. Like,
I don't follow that. I don't think he was like, I love you so much. Wait, I must be a robot.
Well, how do you think he realized?
Probably looked over his shoulder when he was on his phone and said, hey, that's a picture of me and a couple of buttons controlling what I do.
I don't know.
I think that is a lot more probable.
You hate love.
Especially when he knows that Iris is a companion. If I know someone in my friend group has a companion and then my boyfriend is on his app a little too much secretively, maybe I would check. Maybe I'd look.
I don't know about all that. So I think, all in all, in conclusion, the nice guys never win. Good guys finish last. Poor Josh, he deserved it all.
And who set that system up?
Joking. He just had such a victim mentality. He was such a loser, lame-o, stupid idiot. Now, I will say the best thing I think I did with this movie is that I don't watch trailers. Some people were saying online that the trailer spoiled the whole movie. I never experienced that because I don't watch a trailer. I like to go in completely unknowing to whatever could happen. I can't anticipate anything. And I feel like that worked really well for this movie because if you know that she's a robot going in, it kind of ruins the fun of that first 20 minutes.
Yeah, but it's only like the first act. Like, it doesn't really spoil much because everything that went down is as a result of knowing that anyways, so you like had to know.
I like being shook.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, that's the end of the plot and the discussion. We really hope you liked that. Comment some movies that you want us to do. Maybe we can do this again for another movie. And look out for our weekly episodes. You can subscribe to us here and follow the You Shouldn't Have Said That pod Instagram. And you can also listen anywhere that you can get podcasts like Apple Music and Spotify. And you can follow us personally. My Instagram is gracie.pa and hers is annie.pa_. And comment down below. Okay, rough ending.
Yeah.
I quit. I don't want to be a podcast.